emissary consort. Speak with General Septimus in Cora's Den. He's salty. Alright. One thing at a time. C-Sec Academy. Central elevator.
I said cleanse. That's correct. That's the way they fucking looked at it. Not to mention, as well, to the well, anyways, it like they talked about it a little bit earlier, but it was like the Solarians, did their thing, and it's like, were the council involved in pushing them in that direction, or was that just a don't talk about it too much, we don't know, who knows, here's a statue, leave it alone, everything's peaceful now.
No problem.
The council has decided, after playing with humanity on, to stay in soul form. The council has decided that invasions are no fun, and we will be playing offline.
See ya.
In soul form only. Maybe we'll accept messages, and that'll be it. But yeah.
Alright, so to C-Sec Academy is this thing.
So,
Right? I'm always so confused. Every time they're like, yo, C-Sec Academy in this direction.
Oh, no, it's down the stairs and in the door.
Oh, I remember.
But yeah, like all fucking balls and then cage and nonsense aside, it actually...
What's with the helmets, Tally? Are all Quarians shy? Or do you not believe in letting outsiders see your faces?
No, living in the clean environment of the flotilla has weakened our immune systems. The environmental suits protect against diseases.
Naturally. Anything that isn't constantly challenged grows weak.
Up.
Not wrong.
Immune systems need to be pushed.
Tested.
Yeah. It actually comes down to just viable pregnancies, so anyway. Cool. So that's a decent bit of lore picked up there. What do you want to do?
I want to follow the main mission.
Then you should.
Alliance Docking Bay, accessible through the central elevation. So it's here.
In a further development in the Eden Prime investigation, the Council has reportedly revoked the Spectre status of one of its operatives. While the unnamed operative has not yet been apprehended, a Council spokesman confirmed that corrective actions had been taken.
Oh. Action.
And yeah, I said it before, but just a reminder that the flavor text that you're going to get walking around with your party members is down to who you choose to walk around with, right? So,
where do I go to change the party?
Oh, well, I mean, from this point, progression-wise, it'll be a bit more obvious. I think just...
Quarians aren't too popular with Citadel security. They think we're all beggars and thieves.
Okay. Hello, Ambassador Udina.
You're basically about to do the thing.
Okay.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
This isn't right. The Normandy belongs to you.
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, what went wrong?
What happened?
I failed. I couldn't make the cut. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
Saren's not going to get away this time.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
Damn
We had
synthetics.
reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria.
Okay.
Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
Yeah.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
You were interested in matriarchs. You were asking about that last time, I believe.
Yes, acquire all that knowledge, baby. Pharos or Noveria. I'll start there. No, let's go to...
Maybe I can get to Noveria before the Geth.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
There you go. Okay, you weren't a dick to Anderson before. I was hoping, what are you gonna do? Be nice to Anderson.
Yeah, this was cool.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Brother in arms.
Yes, Commander?
Yeah, in that decision tree, you can actually pick your location afterwards. You don't have to lock in on the conversation. Just for the
How are you
record.
holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Why weren't you honest with me?
It's not something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance
Batarian.
intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians.
Sickle.
Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Saren, it says here that you fucked up. Investigate yourself and give us a report telling us what happened and what went wrong.
Just like real life.
That's the... Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Ivy.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was... I had a bad feeling about him right from the start.
Nothing comes
I should have
from
been more
repeating
careful.
these things.
Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
The REG system has detected the joke.
Oh, whack.
The only thing I care about is stopping Sarah.
Oh, no.
You're right, Commander.
Right, Commander.
It's no good living in the past.
No good living in the past.
I want to know the truth about you and Saren. I want to know about the
We had
mission.
intel on a alliance. We tracked the
On
plan was simple.
Kamala. Okay.
Sneak
Alright.
into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out.
Alright, I'm out.
Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Aha.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
What do you know about Armiston Baines?
Where did you hear that name? Never mind, I don't want to know. Baines is dead. Has been for quite some time.
So why are people talking like he's still alive?
It's not common knowledge. Military's keeping it under wraps. Baines was doing some high-level work for the Alliance. Stuff even I wasn't aware of. One day he turns up dead on a drifting scout ship. Everyone suspects it was foul play, but it was never officially investigated.
What can you tell me about the ship?
I don't know much about it. You should talk to Admiral Kahoku.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of his crews discovered Baines' body.
I mean, I
Any idea
remember.
how to find him?
Last I heard, he was up in the tower trying to get the Council to investigate Baines' death. Is there anything else, Commander?
I'm good.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
There you go.
Thank you.
So yeah, stuff updated. Probably wanna take a save and see what's popping.
Yeah.
Big info dump. And yeah, you have your basic introduction of places you can go. All directions are interesting for different reasons and have things. There's fun stuff at Artemis Tau if you wanted to go in that direction, but you can always go in any order.
Okay, cool. Let's look at
In
this.
the early 2160s, the Alliance
Whoa.
began aggressive colonization of worlds in the Skillian
That's a
Verge,
lot of nostrils.
much to the dismay of the Batarians, who had been developing the region for several decades. In 2171, the Batarians petitioned the Council to declare the Verge a zone of Batarian interest. The Council refused, however, declaring unsettled worlds in the region open to human colonization. In protest, the Batarians closed their Citadel embassy and severed official diplomatic relations with the Council, effectively becoming a rogue state. They instigated a proxy war in the Verge by funneling money and weapons to criminal organizations, urging them to strike at human colonies. Hostilities peaked with the Skillian Blitz of 2176, an attack on the human capital of Elysium by Batarian-funded pirates and slavers. In 2178, the Alliance retaliated with a crushing assault on the moon of Torfin, long used as a staging base by Batarian-backed criminals. In the aftermath, the Batarians retreated into their own systems and are now rarely seen in Citadel space.
All right.
Sound like a bunch of jerks.
Isolated themselves. Dealt with criminal organizations. Started some shit.
Backed off.
Then peace.
Pharos is a habitable world in the Attican Beta Cluster. 2/3 of the habitable surface is covered with the ruins of a crumbling Prothean megatropolis. In the millennia since the Prothean extinction, the ruins have been repeatedly picked over by looters many times. Pharos was considered a poor prospect for colonization, as little open ground remains for agriculture. The only sizable freshwater sources are the poles, which are tapped by the decaying Prothean aqueduct systems. The dead cities, while in good condition considering their antiquity, are of uncertain stability. Ground level is congested by a dozen meters of fallen debris, and the air is fouled by dust. In 2178, the Human Exogeny Corporation announced its intention to place a permanent colony on Pharos to thoroughly explore the ruins. The pioneer settlement was placed on the upper levels of several intact skyscrapers, using the surviving Prothean aqueducts and rooftop hydroponic gardens to support the population.
All right. So humans took over. Over Pharos. Whoops. And then Uncharted Worlds.
Between 200 and 400 billion stars in the galaxy, and less than 1% of them have ever been visited or had their systems properly surveyed. Humanity's early expansion into the Attican Traverse was haphazard, a desperate race to claim habitable planets where populations can be economically settled. Ignored in the wake of this land grab were thousands of less hospitable worlds, each potentially rich with industrial resources. The wealth of entire solar systems lies untapped, waiting for corporate survey teams or independent pioneers to discover and exploit them. However, this is not an easy task. In addition to the environmental hazards, the fact that uncharted worlds are largely ignored makes them popular bases for criminals, revolutionaries, cults, and others who wish to remain unnoticed by galactic society.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, once you open up those subway lines to different planets, you get planet squatters. And not everything is a nice clean terraform. Sometimes the assholes, the weirdos, and the scum.
They get together.
They get there first.
On their ecoplanets.
Space Cult doesn't have to listen to anything the rest of humanity has to say.
Okay, so the Geth have attacked Pharos. Go to the Zeus Hope colony to investigate what Siren is after. And then Noveria with the Geth interest. And find Riara Tisoni, a Sari archaeologist. Somewhere in the Artemis Tau cluster. Alright?
Yep.
And then we have all these side missions.
Side missions, which, anything saying Citadel is something you're going to wrap up on Citadel, exactly.
Okay. So, what is closest to us right now?
Also, the ship itself, walk on board, you can take a look and see, but, there's stuff on the ship to do as well, too,
Alright, we'll go to the lower wards after checking the ship. What is this?
Normandy weapons. Inspected.
I don't even know what it was aiming at. I thought it was looking at the wall over there, but
it's supposed to be it's supposed to be looking at the guns on your ship.
Okay.
But
I'll go around and see if there's more codex stuff to look at. Oh, hello. Enter my ship.
Oh, there's like
Stand by, shore party.
ship is ship.
Contamination in progress.
Stank detected.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%.
Seth Green, by the way.
Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. The crew? I'm gonna be honest with the crew.
Crew? Joker here lost his apes.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
Laugh at
We have
him.
our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
The Council wants to ignore this.
That's no surprise. They never helped us in the past. No reason they'd start now.
Yeah.
But we don't need their help. We can do this on our own.
Wherever Saren goes, we'll follow.
Wherever he searches for the conduit, we'll be there. We will hunt him to the very ends of the galaxy and bring him down.
This is the most important mission any of us have ever been on.
The fate of an entire galaxy is at stake. We will stop Saren, no matter what the cost.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Say the words, Reggie. I'm the captain now.
Oh, let's go. Look outside.
Nice speech. Let's see if you uphold to it.
Thank you.
You got renegade points for that speech.
Yeah, you can trust in me. We'll do what it takes.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
Let's go, Joker.
Attention, Normandy. This is your captain speaking. You all belong to me.
No, I would be cool. I would be cool. It'd be cool until they mess up, you know?
And then what?
That comes later. Alright?
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
You don't want to mess up. Alright?
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
You have a disease?
What are you talking about?
Are you contagious?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay,
You got that herpes,
I've got
do you?
Froelich syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow. Too much force and they'll shatter.
Oh,
Even
no.
with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack. It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
So you don't got pedals under that desk, Joker?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm curious. Tell me more about your disease.
I need to know more about this Froelich syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. I classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair.
That's all I need to know.
I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone
bring
on
your
the ship.
bottle.
Better, actually. so don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot.
Oh, shit.
By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I dig it, Joker.
There you go.
Hard worker.
Yeah.
Alright, you got my support. I believe in you. I think the ship is in good hands.
Just as long as...
Alright, see ya.
Like you said, it's not contagious, right? It's fine?
Nope.
Okay, now your disease. Is it fungible? No?
I think it sounds fungible.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Just as long as nothing happens to my bone.
I'm gonna grab some caffeine.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm going to patiently wait for your return while I go see Navigator Presley. Hello, Navigator. What's going on with you?
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
He's still on this racist bullshit. He's not sure about having non-humans on the ship. How about that? They're on our side, buddy.
How do you feel about it?
I'm perfect. We can have a UN going, like United Galaxies or whatever. Let's go.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
I'm in charge here, Presley.
I'm in
I
charge
decide
here,
if we have
Presley.
non-humans on this vessel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
Understood,
right.
sir.
Don't think so much. Why are you thinking so much? Jeez. Aliens on the ship? What's up with that?
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a
Do
problem
you
with
have a
non-humans.
problem with non-humans?
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
This is bigger than humanity. Saren's a threat to every species in the galaxy, and I'll welcome anyone who wants to help me bring him down.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
So the thing with spacism is a lot of the times is that it's a little bit more than just like, I don't like the color, or like, oh, their legs are weird. A lot of the times it's like they kind of wiped out a fucking station that I was working on, and like, you know, everybody died horribly, so I don't like them. Like, that might take a little more time for us to work through the therapy on that one.
True.
You know, a little bit of that the complexity of the relationships.
Down with the system. Personal questions. What do I really want to get personal questions from this guy?
He's working on your ship. You should probably know.
Yeah, to know like how crazy he really is.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Paragon 2, Renegade 2.
Not bad. Okay, I got some codex entries to check as well.
Yep. And that's the go time button. And that's the theme of Go.
That's cool.
Supposedly constructed by the long-extinct Protheans, this colossal deep space station serves as the capital of the Citadel Council. Gravity is simulated through rotation, and it's a comfortable 1.202 standard Gs on the wards and the light 0.3 standard Gs on the Presidium ring. This is the Citadel.
Oh, okay. And
that's one
zoom
location.
Hey.
Space.
Oh my god.
Yeah. World map uncovered. Congratulations, you've made it out of Midgar.
Okay. No points of interest currently, but that'll come out at some point. I can zoom out even more.
Space. Serpent Nebula.
And I can zoom out even more.
Oh, you need to you need to travel, my friend.
Go.
You need to travel. I don't think you quite understand how big space is.
Yeah, like, okay.
You think this is a fucking hop, skip, and a jump, dude.
Light years.
You are jumping via relays to your location.
Pew!
You're being slingshotted.
So if I go there, I'm gonna go pew pew.
The most efficient way through to get to your destination. That's the Prothean tech.
Pew pew pew. Oh man, that's a pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the jellies are talking them up for good reason. You relay Ricochet.
Okay.
But the meat and potatoes of hanging out on the ship is talking to your crew.
Yeah.
So that's always worth it. And keeping your
codec
and of course your codex. Yes, exactly.
To deck 1 and to deck 3. Okay, let's go around here.
And I will say too that like talking to your crew on the ship matters because that's how you get to know them better and deepen your relationships.
Oh, that's good. I'm not to get to know them. Hey, Kay! What up? Oh, look at that handsome boy.
Hey, Karth.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
What's the scuttlebutt?
Enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Every time I want to get personal with him.
Yep.
Okay.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Alright.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Wow.
Yeah, so the scuttlebutt on a ship is the chatter amongst the crew.
I see.
The rumors, the whispers, the things that everyone's talking about. And in this case, the scuttlebutt is currency. This is where all your social links are going down.
More codec entries. Sleeper pod. Anyone sleeping in it? No.
It's not nap time.
Is that like frost? I hope that's frost.
Just a little bit of smudge, and could use a little wipe down. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, this one was full of activity. And this is a wall. All right, let's get out of this corner. And then there's that elevator to that deck.
Yeah. Check out your codex though. Remember to
right away.
Well, I mean, just once they build up, they build up.
Yeah,
right?
that's a lot. Okay.
And the Citadel is Citadel's
a space. And
it was brought up earlier. Someone asked about addressing the codex in a way similar to how we did with Death Stranding. Whereas maybe save these for the end of the session was kind of because in Death Stranding we kind of broke it up into progress and then the stuff. But I think in Death Stranding it's way more supplemental, and I think it's way more unnecessary in terms of it's good flavor that you get at the end. Here, the codex in this game adds context that helps you get the setting right away.
Yeah.
So I think
like you see a thing and then you get the information.
Learning about the Solarians, learning about the race, learning about the like all the stuff that's happening gives you context that you need going forward immediately, not just like flavor text at the end kind of thing. So it's worth it to go through it and clear it as we go.
Space is an unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. At first glance, it appears this territory encompasses most of the galaxy. In reality, however, less than 1% of the stars have been explored. Even Mass Effect FTL drive is slow relative to the volume of the galaxy. Empty space and systems without suitable drive discharge sites are barriers to exploration. Only the mass relays allow ships to jump hundreds of light years in an instant, the key to expanding across an otherwise impassable galaxy. Whenever a new relay is activated, the destination system is rapidly developed. From that hub, FTL drive is used to expand to nearby star clusters. The result is a number of densely developed clusters, thinly spread across the vast expanse of space, connected by the mass relay network.
So this type of stuff is really fun for again, world building and thinking about things in a science fiction context. I mentioned before, like stuff that like Michio Kaku has talked about, but something else that he was discussing in like one of the books was like what it would take to create things approaching science fiction level tech, right? To approach like not even faster than light, but near light speed travel, to approach things like force field and all that stuff. What you really need is the ability to generate more energy than you lose, right? To essentially reverse the laws of thermodynamics. And a lot of that is where, like, if you can basically find a way to do things like cold fusion, or if you can find a way to do things like create a perpetual motion machine, you can create free energy at a surplus and use that excess to do
more things.
Insanity, right? So there are simple things that are like the laws of the way the world works, where if you simply find a way to break one of them, the implications are infinite reaching. They're not just far reaching. They break and change everything. Yeah. And in this setting, that rule break is the Mass Effect. If you can change the mass of a thing, anything, if you can affect it, the way it interacts with everything around it on a like particle level or like a wave level, you can do whatever you want. Things no longer have to apply to
weak rules of physics
or at scale, right? No matter what scale you're talking about, you are able to bend every single law that's ever been written about what's possible by just getting that one ability, you know? And that requires the introduction of something like Element Zero, which is just like a who knows what the fuck thing gets introduced into the equation, allows you to bend all the laws of what existed before, and everything we can do all comes from this one rule being broken, you know? So relay tech, everything from relay tech to the way guns fire to the way that we, like shield ourselves, all that stuff. It's like, it's fun when you create a setting that is like, all of the space tech we use here comes from this one rule being exploited and broken. It's a consistent thing, you know? I mean, the Force it's a ultimate fucking world MacGuffin that like allows all kinds of crazy things to happen in a way, but like, in a hard sci-fi setting, like the ability to explain all of this stuff by going back to like one scientific rule, I find really cool. Yeah. I love that shit, you know?
That's pretty interesting.
Even if it is like being basically just like, what if we take the Force and call it Element Zero and make it have more of a scientific explanation to it, because it's still ultimately world MacGuffin, you know, but it's fun to think about. And it's the title of the fucking game.
Normandy is a prototype starship developed by the Human Systems Alliance with the assistance of the Citadel Council. It is optimized for scouting and reconnaissance missions in unstable regions using state-of-the-art stealth technology. For most ships, the heat generated through standard operations is easily detectable against the absolute zero background of space. The Normandy, however, is able to temporarily sink this heat within the hull. Combined with refrigeration of the exterior hull, the ship can travel undetected for hours or drift passively for days of covert observation. This is not without risk. The stored heat must eventually be radiated, or it will build to levels capable of cooking the crew alive. Another component of the stealth system is the Normandy's revolutionary Tantalus drive, a Mass Effect core twice the standard size. The Tantalus drive generates mass concentrations that the Normandy falls into, allowing it to move without the use of heat-emitting thrusters.
Okay. Who is Tantalus? Is that the guy that was trying to eat and drink, but it was always like getting away from him?
Oh, in Greek mythology? You know what? I don't know. Let's see. Tantalus is the Greek mythological figure. The fruit ever eludes his grasp. Water always receding before he can take a drink.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Horrible.
Weapons, armor, and equipment. Mass accelerators.
Mass accelerator propels a solid metal slug using precisely controlled electromagnetic attraction and repulsion. The slug is designed to squash or shatter on impact, increasing the energy it transfers to the target. If this were not the case, it would simply punch a hole right through, doing minimal damage. Accelerator design was revolutionized by Element Zero. A slug lightened by a Mass Effect field can be accelerated to greater speeds, permitting projectile velocities that were previously unattainable. If accelerated to a high enough velocity, a simple paint chip can impact with the same destructive force as a nuclear weapon. However, mass accelerators produce recoil equal to their impact energy. This is mitigated somewhat by the Mass Effect fields that rounds are suspended within.
Yep.
But weapon recoil is still the prime limiting factor on slug velocity.
We have the ultimate railgun technology. The recoil is stupid. How do we solve it? The same way we created the bullet velocity to begin with. You use the Mass Effect. Like, it's the whole thing. You know, and it keeps coming back to self-correct and to you know, it's I love the consistency of that type of
Mass
shit.
Effect to accelerate the projectile, and it's using Mass Effect to
contain the recoil because of what you're doing. Exactly. It's so cool, dude. Like the idea of it's like, so at a very basic stupid understanding of it, like, again, the idea of the way things work when like quantum mechanics was first discovered was like a huge crazy deal, because they basically were like, we thought that once you scale everything down, it would apply and continue to work the same as if it were at the size that we operate at. And it turns out that's not the case. And there's all kinds of weird, crazy things where it's like the act of like observing something or shining a light on something changes the state that it appears in and whatnot. And you just have to like rewrite all the rules, right? And like, it's like, you take, again, the idea of one sentence and then like extrapolating from that one sentence a fucking encyclopedia of things. Like, that's what you kind of come up with in this. And that's why I'm like, I don't even know what happens in 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But in terms of setting, like, they
got so much going.
They named this series so well for what the importance of this is to how much it affects the science fiction shit happening in this world. You know, you're having spaceships and aliens and fun things and blue booty and all that fun jazz, but like the core nuts and bolts and how and why this all works is because of the fucking thing they named it after, and I really appreciate that. I fucking love that about this.
That is everything for this. Now we have stuff to read.
Yeah.
I hope we've read that one. Yes.
No, that's new.
Humanity has encountered many galactic species. Wars have been few, but mistrust is rife. Politically, the Alliance is a peaceful trade partner of the Turians. As a practical matter, however, there is simmering antagonism and bigotry between both populations over the First Contact War of 2157. The Alliance enjoys good relations with the Asari, though many privately believe the matriarch are aristocratic and overcautious. Though humans know better than to unconditionally trust any Salarian, their shared reckless ways make them natural allies against the conservative Turians and Asari. The Krogan have no unified government, but individuals are generally treated as potential criminals, a reputation most Krogan enjoy living down to. The Alliance has no formal contact with Aquarians. Their migrant fleet has not yet passed through any human-settled system. The Batarians are rivals for the control of the Skillian Verge. They severed the treaties with the Citadel to prosecute a colonial conflict against the Alliance. Officially, there is no war, but neither is there any peace.
What about the quote-unquote lesser races?
We don't talk about them. They don't matter.
The word lesser implies everything you need to know.
So, Wikipedia chill. Alright. Systems Alliance N7. The Alliance Military Vocational Code System classifies the career path of all serving personnel. The MVC consists of one letter and one number. A soldier's MVC indicates proficiency, not rank. The letter notes career path. The number indicates level of experience, as indicated by service record, technical scores, and commendations. All 26 letters are used, and numbers run from 1 to 7. N is the letter code for Special Forces personnel.
And that's what N7 is.
So, top level. I assume. Okay.
And makes for a hell of a merch drop when you gotta make bags, tights, t-shirts, shoes.
So we have these two to read. New space travelers ask, what does it look like outside of ship moving at faster than light speed? Part of the answer can be seen in a simple pane of glass. Light travels slower through glass than it does through open air. Light also moves slower in conventional space than it does in a high-speed mass effect field. This causes refraction. Any light entering at an angle is bent and separated into a spectrum. Objects outside the ship will appear refracted. The greater the difference between the objective, exterior, and subjective, interior, speeds of light, the greater the refraction. As the subjective speed of light is raised within the field, objects outside will appear to redshift, eventually becoming visible only to radio telescope antennae. High-energy electromagnetic sources, normally hidden to the eye, become visible in the high blue spectrum. As the speed of light continues to be raised, X-ray, gamma ray, and eventually cosmic ray sources become visible. Stars will be replaced by pulsars, the accretion disks of black holes, quasars, and gamma ray bursts. To an outside observer, a ship within a mass effect drive envelope appears blue shifted. If within a field that allows travel at twice the speed of light, any radiation it emits has twice the energy as normal. If the ship is in a field of about 200 times light speed, it radiates visible light as X-rays and gamma rays, and the infrared heat from the hull is blue shifted up into the visible spectrum or higher. Ships moving at FTL are visible at great distances, though their signature will only propagate at the speed of light.
And that is describing what you see when the relay goes off, and you see that little loading screen.
Yep. And the mass effect removes the mass?
It allows you to change the mass of whatever you're applying it to.
And if the energy is the mass times the speed,
everything changes.
Everything changes.
Right? It's not just about like, oh, the way this interacts with like this gravity or anything like that, or it's not just thinking of how heavy something is. It's literally the energy that applies to this, how fast it can travel, how and the impact of what that means when it hits a target, or quite simply just even your ability to fucking move.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, stop. Force. Float for a minute. Pop.
That's cool. Okay, Starship crew considerations. Cabins give each individual 10 cubic meters of space. On larger vessels, private rooms are common. As ships get smaller, the number of crew packed into a single wardroom increases. Asari prefer shared spaces even on large vessels, while Krogan territorial instincts make it impossible for them to cohabitate even on the smallest ships. On smaller vessels, hot bunking is the norm. Crew members assigned to different watches share the same bunk. When one gets off duty, he wakes up the person in the bunk. While that crewman is on duty, the first one gets his rack time.
Krogan's gonna krog.
Oh. Spacecraft compartments can be isolated by airtight doors in case of decompression. The cinematic vision of explosive decompression is fiction. Hold compartment either take enough damage that the occupants are killed instantly or leak slowly enough that they are able to reach protective gear. Compartments are equipped with emergency life support apparatus, fireproof plastic bubbles with air bottles. Small when stowed, ELSA comfortably accommodate one individual inflated. Damage control procedures cut off ventilation to burning compartments. Without oxygen to consume, fires die in seconds. The compartment is repressurized afterwards for crew recovery. Mass effect fields create an artificial gravity, AGRAV, plane below the decks, preventing muscle atrophy and bone loss in 0G. Large vessels arrange their decks perpendicular to their thrust axis. The highest decks are at the bow, and the lowest at the engine. This allows AGRAV to work with the inertial effects of thrust, ships that can land or range their decks laterally, so the crew can move about while the vessel is on the ground. Warships normally turn off their AGRAV systems during combat, reducing the heat generated by systems and increasing combat endurance. They provide a point of reference for navigating in 0G. Floors are painted a different color from the walls and ceiling.
If you don't have a cool spaceship where you can float through in loose open space gravity and have cool space battles and get dragged around the ship by holding onto handles that bring you where you need to go, and also if a queen xenomorph attacks, you can lock it down and shoot it out into space, then why even live? Like, you need all of that cool shit. Yeah. That's fun.
Okay.
So, shout outs to the band Splashdown and their albums Red Shift and Blue Shift. Also, our artist friend Dipod, who's got 2 fighting game characters named Red Shift and Blue Shift as well.
That's pretty cool. The crew. Aha. Hello, Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard.